The mission of the Domestic Violence Action Center has always been a conviction that all people deserve to live free and safe from harm in their intimate partnerships and in their home.
I have the privilege and honor to be able to work at an agency that's been well established in the community, to carry on this work to help survivors of domestic violence get to a place of self-sufficiency and safety and freedom in their lives.
When a client first comes into DVAC, they are literally beat down. They're a shell of themselves, so there's no self-esteem. They have nowhere to live. They are fearful for their lives. Through working with our advocates, through our programs, through using our assistants, it's just amazing to see how confident they become, how successful they become.
Domestic Violence Action Center, this is Jackie. May I help you?
I look at our helpline as a lifeline to the community. People are able to reach out to us who's needing support, someone to listen.
Hi, this is the helpline. May I get your name? And has he done this before?
They're met with someone who is compassionate and kind and knowledgeable about the resources they might need to get them safe and keep them safe.
When they come to DVAC and they are connected with an advocate, the advocate's role is to help them to learn how to make the most informed decisions possible. Our main objective is to be non-judgmental and just to make sure that they know that they don't have to go through this alone.
One of the many programs at the Domestic Violence Action Center is a program called Expert Day Outreach Program. People who are interested in filing for temporary restraining orders are met by DVAC staff who can help them with their safety and risk assessment, provide them with the resources available in the community, and also provide accompaniment at family court. There are many, many times when a person who may be limited in her English proficiency can have a difficult time understanding the legal process and what's happened at family court, and our bicultural and bilingual advocates would be able to assist her. Domestic Violence Action Center offers legal services to our survivors. We provide representation and consultation for those who are seeking divorce cases, paternity, temporary restraining order, immigration relief, and post-divorce and post-paternity.
We work with anyone who is a survivor, and although women are statistically those who are affected most often, we work with men, people who are non-binary, the LGBT community, immigrants. Anyone who has a need, we will step in to meet that need where we can.
DVAC Pride provides specialized advocacy services for LGBTQ survivors because at DVAC we understand that if you could have somebody from the same, community help you and guide you through this process, that makes all the difference, and that could be the difference in somebody choosing to go forward with services. I try to bring just a sense of understanding and empathy to the table. I want them to feel validated, heard, and seen. That's my philosophy as the LGBTQ advocate.
When we look at domestic violence and substance use, we have what they call bidirectional. It goes in both directions. If someone's experiencing domestic violence, they're much more likely to develop a substance use disorder, and the other way around. Safe, Strong, and Sober here at DVAC was started in 2023. We provide training for all of our care providers in the community. So substance use disorder treatment providers, healthcare providers, including first responders, and anyone who's involved in the domestic violence field.
TAP 808 is a teen alert program, a program at DVAC to help youth ages 12 to 24 with advocacy and education services for teen dating violence. 1 in 3 teens, high school students here in Hawaii, are in an unhealthy or an abusive relationship. We educate youth about red flags and warning signs such as isolation used as a tactic by their partner, verbal abuse, maybe putting down, belittling, or gaslighting. Through our surveys, when we come back to the school maybe a year later, we see a decrease of prevalence of teen dating violence at that school, but also an increase of knowledge about teen dating violence.
Native Hawaiians are the largest ethnic group that the Domestic Violence Action Center serves. So with that, Ho'o'i Kaika Ohana was created to provide services to Native Hawaiians that would really connect with them. Our Ho'o'i Kaika support groups are really mindful about incorporating cultural practices and values or customs. We utilize Talk Story as a way to implement the learning or the lessons for the group. We implement cultural values such as the lokahi will or customs such as pounding kalo as a way for people to connect with who they are, where they come from, and where they want to go.
Domestic violence happens in a family structure. It really goes beyond the two adults. It's also affecting the children. We have a program that's called PICO, and this program is focused on the family and the children and stabilizing the family unit. We help them with their legal challenges. We help them with anything that has to do with the children communication, so schools or assessments of troubled behaviors. The support group also helps bring in community after isolation and also just create a safe space to talk about all the challenges that they're going through.
More than 60% of our clients needed a place to go and a safe place to live if they decided or when they decided that they were no longer going to live with their abuser. And so we created opportunities in different ways to house families.
Housing is one of the greatest needs for survivors escaping abuse in the home. DVAC has created housing programs that will allow survivors and their children a safe place to stay.
Survivors have been isolated by their abusers and often don't have a social support system or a network of friends or even contact with family. When they have the opportunity to move in and live in a community of other survivors who understand what they've lived with and lived through, it creates a bond and a sisterhood that really can't be matched.
I think the impact that DVAC has on survivors is long-lasting.
The organization, in some ways, to me, is like a safety net for survivors of domestic violence. Even if today they feel that they're not ready to reach out to us, they know that we are there for them.
Domestic violence is not going to end during my lifetime. It is very, very important for all of us to really dedicate part of ourselves in ending the violence. We each have a role in making it right.
DVAC stands for bringing community together. It's really bringing that big hope that everyone will work towards ending domestic violence as long as it will take us to do it.
Working here is a calling. For me, myself being a survivor, going through what I went through, I now get to reach back and support other survivors who've been in my situation, knowing that they don't have to go through it alone, as I did. And so that's the most gratifying thing for me.
The Domestic Violence Action Center has been the leading voice, the greatest advocate, the most responsive, has always been on the cutting edge of the problem of domestic violence here in Hawaii. And we have encouraged all of our allies to join us in helping island families be free and safe.
DVAC has been doing this important work in the community for over 30 years. My hope for the future is that we carry on, that we keep doing this work because it's so important and it can mean the matter of life and death for a survivor of domestic violence. I'm so proud of the work that DVAC has done in our community, but there's so much more work that needs to be done. And with you as our support, I believe we can do that.